I always thought about crypto as a new avenue to change the world. Most of the world doesn't want crypto, they need it. There's no better place to be building for change and to have an impact on what's going on in the world than to be in this industry. LunarCrush actually started, don't know how exactly the moment came up. We just wanted to come up with something. We wanted to come up with an idea. I had to initially convince my wife to not leave me. When Joe said, "You're gonna leave your good, high-paying job and go do a startup with me?" Somewhere along the lines, we reached out to Dan and said, "Dude, do you think you could get this data and make sense of this?"
I was minding my own business, and then John and Joe gave me a call, and they're like, "Hey, we want to build something. Is it possible?"
Dan's like, "Yeah, we can figure it out." It was an experiment. Can we capture this information?
And I said, "Well, actually, that sounds really interesting. Let me code something up over the next couple weeks to see if this is possible."
And we started by collecting every single social post around every single cryptocurrency that we could. How do you really understand, as an investor, as someone that wants to participate in the industry, what's real and what's not?
Collecting social content, trying to figure out if we could find a signal between cryptocurrency prices and different social data that we were messing with. The more we collected and went down that rabbit hole, the more interesting the data looked.
What's driving that price? What's making all those movements occur? What's making trading volume go up? We wanted LunarCrush to help answer those questions. And there's just been this change in the way that people invest. And so I think we kind of saw that coming. And so we wanted to build a tool and a product that addressed that market. That's the case for LunarCrush. We're programming value into the community activity around crypto. Aggregating this data, pulling it together, cleaning it, and making it ubiquitous and creating the economies of scale. We've made it simple for anyone to come onto LunarCrush and really have access to the same, and if not better, institutional trading tools that these folks have had on Wall Street for a while, and we do it at 0.01% of the price. You can't do anything alone. You need other people, especially with startup, that want to take a risk with you, that will follow the idea that you have and follow the passion that you have and bring that to their everyday work.
It was actually my first week at LunarCrush. I was invited to this meeting called Moon Kickoff. I just thought it was like crypto bro speak.
Joe was like,
"Hey, we're gonna send this rover to the moon.
and we're gonna build an NFT project around that.
Wait.
This is crazy."
How do we do this thing?
Where do we even start?
As a jaded agency producer who has seen a lot of concepts thrown at my desk, I figured that this one would just kind of go by the wayside. Trying to put Bitcoin on the moon or trying to do a whole kind of NFT campaign around that, it seemed like something that was
absolutely insane, but at the same time, an incredible opportunity to physically manifest that term.
Like actually going to the moon.
There's all these questions that came to mind. How are we gonna get it to the moon? How is it gonna be secure? How's it gonna be safe? What if someone goes and gets it right away?
How do we emotionally feel the idea of nostalgia? And then at the same time, how do we present the idea of the future as it relates to space?
How do you solve the problem of a treasure hunt on the moon? And how do you make sure that you don't see the private key? And how does that stay secret? And how do you etch that onto a piece of metal that's gonna be affixed onto a rover and has tamper-proof tape?
But as we started talking about it more, I think my questions developed into how do we make this different from anything else that's been done before? And how do we push the boundaries just a little bit further?
It's gonna be nuts. It's gonna be fun.
Nakamoto 1 is the first interplanetary treasure hunt.
We're selling 24,000 NFTs, and they're divided up into subtypes. The goal is to collect one of each of the 4 subtypes. You burn those NFTs, and then you're delivered a new NFT of this second level. You repeat that process on the level 2, and then you do that once again to get to your final Android piece. Once you have your Android NFT, it's a race to the moon to find the all-gold one-of-one NFT that acts as a key to unlock the treasure chest. Yeah, so you actually have to go to the actual moon to find the private key that's on the rover.
I love solving hard problems because it's quite the accomplishment. At first, it seems like an impossible task, but you break that down, you chip away, and before you know it, you have a working solution.
It's all about a team. It's about people coming together that are passionate about building out something cool, and all you have to do is put that idea out into the world, and it just gets solved, and it gets solved in the coolest, most fun and exciting way when you have the right people around. I get excited about building things that bring joy to people's lives and help them understand the world around them. We see this as a project that's enabled by crypto and enabled by Web3, but it can only be enabled by Web3. You can't put a routing number or a bank account on the moon that's etched into the side of a rover. You can't do that. But what you can do is put a wallet and private key on and a cryptocurrency address, and you can put a bunch of Bitcoin up there. You can actually make this a reality.